Hello viewers, this is Marianne from Revealing Light Tarot. Firstly, thank you for all your support. I've been following Joe Biden's announcement that he will be running in 2020 and also the reaction to that. Of course, Trump has called him Sleepy Joe or something silly like that. It's interesting because I just feel that he's losing his power. He's losing the power of his words. He's always been able to throw those insults out, and in some way they came in underneath the radar, and they were able to, make right-thinking people feel uncomfortable for his base. It was yeah, go Trump, go Trump, and then but I feel that power is waning. So I just wanted to do a bit of a running reading today. I wanted to look at Biden's campaign. The last time we checked in with Joe Biden, he was facing quite a lot of bad press around his over-eagerness to make physical contact when he was on the campaign trail. It didn't really go anywhere. It showed in the reading that it was actually quite unpleasant at that time for him. But it also showed that there was a rallying. The outcome card was a rallying, and that he would go on from here. Now, I guess media outlets are also bringing up the Anita Hill when he was chairing that Supreme Court nomination hearing for Clarence Thomas, and Biden just keeps apologising. What else can he do? Now, his age, 76, is he at this point in time? His age. I guess I've always liked Joe Biden, but I also understand as well, I like all the candidates really on the Democratic side, but I also understand there is that need for youth and new energy, and not to just have things go on in the same way. However, the other side of that coin is that, an experienced hand will be needed post-Trump because of the damage that Trump has done. So a future president who may be successful in 2020 is going to, and if it's not Trump, and we know it's not going to be Trump, I'm not even going to entertain that thought, is going to have to be building bridges internationally, cleaning up a lot of mess. Oh, the Saudi Arabian executions, honestly, the war in Yemen, my goodness, what an alignment there of Trump, not of America, because I see this just as those, in the current positions of power at the moment. I don't see that America wants to be aligned with a regime that strings up a college boy and publicly executes him and puts him, anyway. I'm not sure that's where you want to be aligned. So this is Trump speaking and Kushner speaking. So let's have a look at Biden. He's going to have to repair a lot, internally, externally. Someone who comes forward in 2020 is going to have to try and unify things, move away from the damaging rhetoric, ensure stability, but at the same time, ensure that this doesn't ever happen again. Okay, so let's have a look at Joe Biden. How's his campaign going to go? Does he have a chance of winning in 2020? That's what you all want to know. Does Joe Biden, what are his chances of winning in 2020? Joe Biden, what are his chances of winning in 2020? Just getting a spinning coin. It's not falling either way. It's like heads, tails. No, it's just still spinning. But let's see, will Joe Biden win in 2020? Because, it could be he's not selected either as the candidate. We've got the 9 of Wands showing this is a little bit of weariness here. It's also putting the need for boundaries. This could also be Trump. I'm using my Robin Wood Tarot deck. It's only a very small deck, and it's new, so I thought I'd give it a go. So the 9 of Wands here. battle weary. Is this Joe Biden or is this America generally? Challenged by things coming forward strongly and quickly. I do feel that this might be America in its present time. Things coming forward, the Chariot, quite strongly and quickly. The foundation of the reading, yeah. Okay, America needs a benign parent. America needs the King of Cups, someone who can heal, someone who has the experience and wisdom to heal. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean someone who's older. It could be someone else, but that's what's needed at the moment, the King of Cups. Now, the Six of Cups in the past, this is going back. Again, the impressions that I got when I opened this reading up was that Biden offered a return to the stability, the innocence, the past when things were better, the past when, I mean, all these cups are full of flowers here. This person is giving something else. This is an innocence. And this is, again, in the past position. So that could be how Joe Biden has been perceived, being capable of creating unity here where others may have failed. But we've got the potential of the situation here is restriction. This is the Eight of Swords. This is somebody who... Again, it's hard to discern these energies between what America is currently facing, which is quite serious, and whether some of these energies behind these cards actually do relate to Biden at this point in time. So in the future, we've got the Three of Cups. Now, this card usually means support, but it also has an element of not spying, but gossiping, spreading slander. So I do feel that this is that Joe Biden's going to be gaslighted now. He has come off that, and I think there's going to be a continuation of that, because at the moment there's an element of isolation here as well, and it's also reflection and introspection. So I think that rather than the rush to embrace Biden, I think people are actually thinking quite deeply about things. Now, the Six of Pentacles is around giving and receiving help. There is some attention on Biden's donations at this point in time. And I do feel this is in the atmosphere around. So people are actually reflecting. Nobody wants a return of conditions of 2016, 17, 18. People want to see things cleaned up. And so he's facing really quite strong scrutiny because he's been around for so long. But the hopes and the fears, this is talking about Biden does bring forward a hope for the average person, the average family, mum, dad, and the kids. This is around the love and the support that families have for one another. And indeed, that's evident in Biden's own family. So he will appeal to families across the US, and I do feel he will have some appeal to swinging voters and Republicans that may be likely to change their vote, because as we know, the GOP, some elements of the GOP are moving away, and if Trump were by some, fate of his, destiny of his, to stand again in 2020, which I don't think he would, you would see a similar pattern that occurred in the midterms, where people who were swinging voters, the Republicans in the suburbs, would be more likely to vote for Joe Biden than they would for Donald Trump. Now, the outcome card is the Three of Swords. So at this point in time, I feel that Biden is not in a strong position. And we've got the Five of Swords. This is the abuse of power. This is the bullying. I feel he's going to come in for more of this gaslighting that we've seen in the past, and it is because the Republicans are insecure about Biden's appeal in this regard that we've spoken about in this reading. But I feel at the moment he is going to be quite gaslighted. However, we've got what is hidden from our view is the Queen of Cups here. Now, this card has a couple of meanings. On one hand, she sits with the King of Cups and brings forward support. On the other hand, you can see that there is a a piece of cloth over the cup, which is saying what is in this cup. Is it good or is it bad? Is it negative or is it positive? Is it divine or is it ill-intended? And I feel the jury is out a little bit on Biden now at this point in time. But if he were to to run, and we're a long way from being selected, and I probably should have selecting a candidate. You are a long way from selecting your candidate. If Biden were to be successful, he has some quite positive cards here, which would indicate that he would do quite well. So I'm just going to follow up with a reading. Will he be the successful candidate? Because we saw that Three of Swords there. Maybe that he won't be. He certainly would have widespread appeal, and I think that's the strength of his candidature. Okay, will Biden be the successful Democratic candidate? Will Biden be the successful Democratic candidate? I feel that initially people are thinking no, but things could change. Will Biden be the successful Democratic candidate? Okay, so we've got the Six of Swords. People, this is again wanting to move on, again, either from the dangerous situation that's here, or it could be moving on from Joe Biden's era. So we've got the Moon. People are really tired of same old, same old. They want their politics cleaned up. However, we have the Ace of Swords. They want truth. They want justice in politics. They want a better and a stronger way. However, it's indicating people also want to move on from the Trump era. So this Six of Swords could be related to that. A lot of swords here. Secrets to be revealed in the Tower card. As I said, it's very hard to discern the energies in this reading with Biden from what is actually occurring at the moment. They want a new government. Yeah, the Four of Wands, there is, celebrations there once these secrets have been revealed. And, we are at the crossroads here with decisions and potentially a compromise to make. A lot of swords in this reading. This is the Five of Wands, the tug-of-war, factions. The Ace of Swords would indicate that he may well be the candidate, but there are a lot of conflicting cards here, so I can't call it. But what's hidden from our view here is the family element, the family card, which came up in the hopes and fears. So I think it's too early to say whether Biden would be the Democratic candidate. These cards aren't giving me an answer here. I don't want to completely rule it out because there are some cards which suggest that he will be, but there are also some cards which are a little bit worrying for Joe Biden. I feel, I go back to my first reading, which suggested that something might come out on Joe, something else. I thought that was what came out this time, but it could be something else here. He's been in politics for so long, but he has that widespread appeal. So I'll leave it there and we'll update the reading as we get a bit closer to later on this year. I think his coming forward at the moment is actually good because he is seen as a stable force, and I feel that that older energy, that wisdom, that been around a long time, being someone who would be able to, get in and realistically, I guess, enact some reforms, but not enough is known about his policies yet, so perhaps we'll leave it until then. Now, I want to go to the Kim Jong-un Summit and Vladimir Putin. I briefly looked at that. I've had requests for that reading. I briefly looked at that in the news this morning. And it's vintage Putin. It really is. Now, there are a couple of public personas to Putin. On the one hand, he is this aggressor. On the other, he does enjoy some support in Russia. He does, funnily enough, around the world, there are people who actually see Putin as a voice of equality. I don't know how they can get that, given that he is the richest oligarch in Russia. But suffice to say, in this summit, what the Putin that's come forward is the Putin who is actually appearing to be responsible, appearing to come in now where Trump has failed. This is a very good PR spin for Putin, let's just put it that way. So it's been designed, my feeling is it's being designed to shore his support up locally, but also to have him come forward as a little bit of a statesman. He's talking about if denuclearization happens in North Korea, that it won't be as a result of one power or another, either Russia, China or US. It's not going to be that. It's going to take a concerted coming together internationally to achieve that aim. So you can see really where he's pitching his message, can't you? It's one of that statesman-like coming in, being able to get progress where Trump has failed. So let's just have a look what we need to know about the Kim and Putin summit. What are the conditions? What was spoken about behind closed doors? Let's have a look at that. Kim and Putin. That certainly was a PR coup, but let's have a look. Kim and Putin. What was spoken about behind closed doors? Kim and Putin summit. Vladivostok. What was spoken about behind closed doors? Yeah, it was more PR than anything else, but let's have a look. Somebody is battle weary, perhaps both of them. Perhaps that's why Kim and Putin looked so comfortable in that summit, because they were achieving similar aims. Their challenge is the isolation. Both Kim is isolated and Putin is isolated. A feel-good summit held on, I think, a university campus, looking like both leaders are quite comfortable and that there could be progress made and that there was a statesman-like appeal, belies the actual truth of the situation. Let's not fall for PR and spin. Putin is the master magician here. He's taking, this summit was all about making Putin look good. All right, in the past we've got the Three of Cups, again coming forward in a supportive way, coming into the breach or the vacancy that America left when Trump walked away from the summit that he had, the most recent summit that he had. Again, there is an element here of spin associated with this summit. Now, the potential of the situation, Putin could actually, in all his PR spin, might be able to achieve something. This is the King of Cups. It could also be more of the magician card, but the magician also actualizes something into reality. So let's have a look where this reading is going around Putin. Yeah, Three of Wands, expansion and commerce. And it's aligned with the King of Cups here. Putin's also talking about helping North Korea get back on its feet financially. Again, coming into the breach where Trump and Pompeo left. We've got the foundation of the reading here, new income sources. So if we look at the magician here, actualizing things into reality, but also the trickster card, what is this all about? I believe we go back to our signifier card here, where we have battle weary and isolation. Putin's motives for coming forward as the good guy, shall we say, as the King of Cups, I should say that the King of Cups inverted is not the good guy, and William Barr also came forward as the King of Cups, and the King of Cups actually is somebody who is the opposite of benign parent. They're actually working to undermine things. But I do feel with Putin, he's gone a step too far in his interference, and it's all coming to light. He understands the need to build bridges now. This is all about income sources. Again, it's always the bottom line. Putin needs to trade. Putin needs to have some influence globally, and this is about getting this through appearing to be the good guy and achieve where others can't. The atmosphere around Kim's family and Putin, Russia, I guess, Russia and North Korea, they've been aligned for decades. And indeed, I think Russia helped North Korea and Kim's family take power. So, yeah, they look comfortable with one another. There was no... this could be... okay, here's what I'm getting before we reach the end of this reading. I'm getting also that putting Trump with Kim to begin with, what could have been a Putin plan. Trump no longer is important to Putin because his day is done. Putin's now activating Plan B, so Putin's an opportunist. The hopes and the fears we've got, really wanting to return to this more idyllic reunion with happier times, more peaceful times, more stable times. Again, more of the spin. But there's disappointment here as an outcome card. Putin is disappointed. He's disappointed that he didn't get what he wanted to get, what he asked to get when he helped Trump come to power. The Page of Wands. He's disappointed in the communication. He's disappointed in the Mueller report. He's disappointed in what's come out. This is somebody who assists something, who goes on a quest. It's a messenger in a way. He did so much in 2016, but it looks like it's backfired. Absolutely, it's backfired. The 9 of Swords. So I think, and things coming forward quite quickly, Putin would know also that once there's a change of government in America, he is actually going to face some kind of retribution for his role in getting Trump elected. This summit in North Korea, the summit in Vladivostok, is really about Putin trying to mend bridges, trying to come forward as the statesman, talking about international unity to get things done, to get denuclearization back on the table. This is the Putin coming across as the benign King of Cups, who was actually not, and this is a PR spin, and Putin. You can expect more moves from Putin to try and shore up alliances with various countries, perhaps Germany, other countries, to water down the US significance to Putin, because he knows that the truth of 2016 is going to do a lot of damage. So that's that summit. I do feel they were both on the same page, but largely it was a PR exercise for various reasons outlined in the cards. Okay, so that's the summit. That's Biden. I did a Trump reading just before offline, just before I came online. And so let's just check in with Trump and his obstructionism, not making sense in his public speeches. Let's check in with Trump today. What's he planning? All right, what's going through Trump's mind at this point in time? Let's ask, is Trump aware? No, okay. Let's ask what is Trump's plan B? What is Trump's plan B? So I'm still getting self-defense. So I'm just getting a cross, an image of a cross here. So that's his plan B. Self-defense, put up barriers, delay. But let's see. Is there anything else? Because I feel there's a door slightly ajar. What is behind that door? What is Trump's plan B? What's behind that door? What is Trump's plan B? Exile is what I'm seeing. Someone who goes into voluntary exile. Let's make a bit of sense of this through the cards. What is Trump's plan beyond self-defense? Okay, so right now it's the Five of Swords. It's the abuse of power. That's all quite obvious, isn't it? That he and Barr are abusing their power. All right. Ooh, they're challenged by the loss. The loss, not very nice cards. It's nice to see. Well, no, I won't say it's nice, but it's, I guess, comforting to see these conditions are still continuing for Trump. I don't think he's on a winning streak, put it that way. The Knight of Pentacles, this is the money news coming forward. It's the foundation of the reading. I do feel that this is Trump's business dealings, and I do feel his tax returns, an examination of how he's been running his business, the Deutsche Bank records that I talked about yesterday or the day before, all are pointing to where he is most vulnerable, and that is the focus of this reading. The Page of Cups, right? We asked what is hidden from our view. What is behind that slightly ajar door? This is the Page of Cups. This is an offer being made in the past. It's only a small offer. Maybe that's why he turned it down. Okay, what is the potential of the current situation? Part of his self-defense strategy is to get enough. This is the Three of Cups. This is support, circles of support, but it's also can be circles of support which deliver gossip and slander. So he'll be spreading innuendo. He'll be spreading falsehoods, and those that are still loyal to him will continue to do that. Now, the immediate future, he's got his eye on commerce and expansion here. He's got his eye on other countries. Why is that? Is he afraid that that might come out? Or is he at the moment dealing in some way with other countries? We've got the King of Wands as the focus of the situation at the moment. This is both the lawmaker, but I do feel that this is how Trump perceives himself still. This is the King of Wands. This is the top dog, the leader. And the Knight of Cups again in the information. Okay, the environment around him. He's going to use his authority to drive a deal. That is what's behind that closed door that we can't see yet. He's going to use his authority as president to drive a deal. And this is this deal is going to come from someone who's quite determined to get a result. The hopes and the fears. Okay, so the hopes for new beginnings here. The Fool card. But this is also someone about to step off a cliff as well if they're not careful. Okay, the Magician, actualizing something into reality. This can also have a little bit of a sinister aspect to it too. It can also be the Trickster card. Yeah, he's at a crossroads right now. He may make some compromise in the future. And we've got the King of Cups here. Some sort of compromise. It will be. I feel what will be offered to him and what he will eventually accept will come from the Democrats. The Six of Pentacles, giving and receiving help, loans and debts. Okay, that could be William Barr as well. There is definitely an offer there. there's definitely an offer there at the end of the day, which could be that small plan behind that slightly ajar door that he would consider taking an offer, which he may have already spoken about in the past. But he's not there yet. I mean, this is him at the moment, abusing his power because of the loss that he's sustained, spreading innuendo, actualising other plans into reality, but it's showing that there is a crossroads point coming up for him in the future where he will have to compromise. And any legal deal would have to be done. I'm feeling this is the senior Republicans. This could be William Barr. That's who will eventually be negotiating that deal. So let's just finish this reading. It's at 30 minutes, so I don't want to go on for too much longer. Let's give these cards. This is a new deck, the Robin Wood deck. I'm trying it out today. It's going okay. All right, let's have a look. So he could accept a deal from the Republicans. Are the Republicans starting to move away from Donald Trump? We're talking about the Senate. Are the Republican senators, the Republican hierarchy? I feel that King of Cups was William Barr. He would have to be front and centre to any offer that was made to Trump. And the Republicans senators would have to be on side. Are the Republicans moving away from supporting Donald Trump? Republicans, Donald Trump. Here's our offer, the Knight of Cups here, but it's also the seduction of the Republican Party. Let's see where we're going with this. The Six of Cups, challenged by the past. Okay, so the Republican Party, as it once was, is the challenge now to the seduction. So the seduction of the party by Donald Trump, challenged by Republican traditional values, if you like, the party of the past, not as we see it in 2019. Foundation of the reading is the Seven of Swords, theft and betrayal, what has been taken away from the Republican Party by Trumpism. In the past, we've got the covenant, the relationship, the marriage of Trump and Republicanism. Was it a marriage made in heaven? No. We've got Trump being really more of an emperor, more of an autocrat than a leader of a party in a democracy. Trump, the emperor, emerged. We've also got Trump trying to hold on to power through the foundation of this reading, through this theft, through this betrayal, the insecurity. Now, at this point in time, will Republicans move away from Trump? We've got the Star of Hope here, so this could mean that there are sections. We've had Trump now, as Bill Weld is challenging him in 2020. We've had long-time Republicans defect or move away, call for impeachment. What's the atmosphere? They want a new start. They want to move away from Trump. They want a new start. Well, they know that 2020 is looming. Their hopes and their fears. This is the Mueller report. This is what's got them spooked. Things coming forward strongly. And we've got losing government, the Hierophant government, impeachment processes perhaps, the Democrats and the Republicans getting on the same page in some way. The Queen of Wands, yes. And here we have the Democrats. And we've got disappointment here. So somebody being offered something less than what they thought. What's hidden from our view? The Seven of Pentacles, the reevaluation of the harvest. The harvest is not going to deliver the Republicans what they want, and they're reevaluating their support for Donald Trump. and because this is how they started, the covenant between them. This is the foundation of the reading. This is what Trump turned into. And the signifier card is potentially some kind of offer, and they're wanting new starts. They're doing this, I guess, in some ways to hold on to government, or to do what they can to hold on to government. But at the end of the day, they've been disappointed in what they got and what they signed up to through their own, no fault of anyone else's but their own. It looks like they're going to be. This is Trump with his back against the tree, and they're going to make an offer to him. They're currently reevaluating their support for Trump. So I'll leave that there, and we'll look at new things. So we've looked at, in the future readings, we've looked at the summit, which I thought was quite important. We've looked at Biden. Not good cards, I have to say, for Biden. There was that loss at this point in time, but I would say that this could be a short-term look. Of course, he's going to come in now for criticism from the Republicans and from Trump. We know that they're quite adept at that, but he does have that broad support amongst families at this point in time. But yeah, I would have expected better cards than what I pulled on Biden. My feeling is that there's a need for newness there, not more of the same. But there again, as I said, he's got that broad support. And of course, what's going through Trump's mind? There's a glimmer of something there, just behind that closed, dark door. It's almost like when leaders of old, or those in power, dictators of old, got toppled, they would go into exile. So if you think of what happened to Napoleon, he was exiled to an island. So that's the kind of thing that I got with Trump, that he may take a deal and go into exile. I did have initially, when I first started reading, I actually did see him as the hermit, almost in exile. I think one of my very first or second readings saw that. So let's see how all this plays out. We've got a long way to go between now and then. Potentially the start of impeachment proceedings. We've got more dirt, more scandal, more evidence, more... I do feel there's so much more. It's like the Chariots, so much more to come out on Trump and what he's been doing, that it'll be mind-boggling by the time we get to the end of it. So, and that's what will force the Republicans to take that delegation and force him to step down. So I'll leave it there, and I'll be back again soon. Thank you.